High up in the Bronx, beside the Harlem River, a rich American tradition was about to become an historical artifact. For the New York football Giants were leaving their hallowed Yankee Stadium home, and on an NFL Sunday, when the historically brittle body of Joe Namath would receive yet another crippling injury, and when Don Coryell would register his first upset as head coach of the St. Louis Cardinals by defaming the powerhouse Washington Redskins, and when the monumental winning streak of the Miami Dolphins would be curtailed, this Taj Mahal of sports palaces was not about to be upstaged in her final moments. For the Giants, now rugged insurgents in the NFL with a perfect preseason slate and a 34-14 opening day romp over the Houston Oilers, the competition would be the Philadelphia Eagles, who suffered a 62-10 slaughter when Philadelphia last visited Yankee Stadium. The Eagles' new head coach, Mike McCormick, was not above using that debacle as a psychological tool to jazz up his team and to give Philadelphia every incentive to avenge its recent embarrassments. With McCormick supervising every aspect of his rebuilding program, while sighing wistfully to the press that he hoped his team was well enough organized to keep 11 men on the field, Big Mike privately believed that he was about to rekindle the spark that had ignited the Giant-Eagle series into spectacular games so often in the past. But as Mike McCormick stood with his old and friendly enemy, Alex Webster, before the game, it was probably the passing of this landmark stadium that they discussed, each with his own memories, as they said their goodbyes along with the fans prior to action in the NFL Game of the Week, matching the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants for the last time in Yankee Stadium. From the very first play, it was clear that the Eagles had come to play as number 25, Tom Sullivan, circled right end for 13 yards and a first down. Roman Gabriel then speared Ben Hawkins for the game's first big gainer, and the Hawk flew 37 yards to the Giants' 23. For several years now, the Eagles have not been able to employ Hawkins' ample talents to their best advantage, and the addition of Gabriel may be the spark that lights his fire. A repeat of the play shows that Hawkins split a Giant zone and turned it up the seam to move the Eagles deep in Giant territory. But the Eagle offense sagged there, and Tom Dempsey redeemed the drive with a 30-yard field goal. For Philadelphia, depending on blue-chip rookies like Jerry Sizemore among 6 inexperienced starters on the offense, it was a heartening quick strike, signaling significant improvement over the comedy of errors on opening day. But the Giants bounced back quickly as Norm Snead drilled tight end Bob Tucker for a 27-yard gain. Using Tucker's great speed to loosen the Eagle linebackers, Snead then turned to his great runner, Ron Johnson. Sending Johnson inside and out, Snead violated the Eagles' newfangled scrape defense. Taking advantage of a fine block by number 63, Doug Van Horn, on Al Nelson, number 26, Ron Johnson swept deeper into Eagle territory. Victimizing the Eagles' displaced linebackers, Johnson found big holes as he carried New York downfield in a long ball-controlling drive. On the 11th play of that drive, Vin Clements swept right, and the Giants had a touchdown the first time they handled the football, giving them the advantage 7-3. The Giants' disciplined march downfield and the Eagles' inability to move on the next series gave Mike McCormick reason for concern. But the game was already more of a battle than most had expected, and the Eagles' new look was apparent even down to the effective, aggressive play of Philadelphia's specialty teams. On the Giants' next series, the Eagles swarmed all over Ron Johnson, and New York was forced to surrender the football. Using a play-action fake to freeze the linebackers, Roman Gabriel then found Harold "Hoagie" Carmichael in a vacant zone of the Giants' defense, and Philadelphia had its second big strike of the afternoon. Although Carmichael carried to the New York 14, the Eagles again could not punch it over, and Tom Dempsey booted home his second three-pointer of the quarter, making the score Giants 7, Eagles 6. On the ensuing kickoff, the Eagles specialty squad had their only breakdown of the afternoon, and Eldridge Small almost broke one coast to coast before the kicker, Tom Dempsey, ended his journey at the 39. Beginning the second quarter and showing the form that has marked his success in New York, Snead then began using short, safe, ball-controlling passes to get the Giants moving again. Some nifty work by number 53, Greg Larson at center, then sprung Ron Johnson into the secondary, penetrating Eagle territory to the 49. But from there, New York could not manage another first down, and Pete Gogolak converted a 45-yard field goal, giving New York a 10-6 advantage. Then the Eagles ran into a stern Giant defense, and it appeared that New York was finally going to take control, as everybody had expected they would. Sparkplug Pete Athos, number 45, draped himself all over the Eagles' huge rookie tight end Charlie Young, and the Philadelphia attack was brought to a standstill. When the Giants took over, they began to grind their way toward the Eagle end zone, just as everyone had expected they would from the outset. It was the longest possession of the game, 16 plays, and in every key situation, Snead gave the ball to Ron Johnson, who powered for 81 yards and 17 carries in the first half. But when Snead went to the air, the drive faltered, and New York came away with nothing when Pete Gogolak missed a field goal attempt, and the Eagles took over on the 20. Then Philadelphia began looking like the same old Eagles when Tom Sullivan mishandled Gabriel's toss into the hands of Pat Hughes, who lay out of the play flat on his back. But the Giants coughed up the favor when Ron Johnson, who was the recipient of some heavy hitting by the Birds, fumbled the football to Philadelphia's Bill Bradley, and it was the Eagles who ended the first half with the football. Working into the face of a stiff-hitting Giant defense, Gabriel set about gaining field position for the long-kicking Tom Dempsey to try another three-pointer. With third and long, Gabe found Charles Young for a 15-yard gain, and Dempsey came on for a very possible 58-yard try with 3 seconds remaining in the half. Dempsey's boot was blocked by the Giants, and the half ended with the Eagles trailing 10-6. But though they trailed, they were very much in the football game, and while everybody expected Philadelphia to wilt before the rushes of Ron Johnson in the second half, it had been an encouraging 30 minutes of football for Philadelphia Eagle fans. The Eagle defense, led by former Ram middle linebacker Marlon McKeever, came out with one goal in mind for the second half: stop the ground thrusts of Ron Johnson, who had sliced through them for 81 yards in the first half. Whatever advice McKeever had gotten, it worked, for Johnson got just 9 yards in the third quarter. So effectively were he and Ben Clement shut down that the Giants offense ran only 9 plays as the Eagle defense began controlling the scrimmage line. Having gone nowhere in their first series, the Giants were forced to punt from deep in their own territory, and Bill Bradley's 7-yard taxi and 2-yard flight brought the Eagles good field position on their 42-yard line. But the Giants play tough defense too, and on the Eagles' first play from scrimmage, they blew in and muffled Gabriel's horn. And when the Giant defense wasn't stopping them, the Eagles managed to stop themselves. Facing third and long, Gabriel sent Sullivan swinging out of the backfield, and his fine catch brought a first down on the Giant 37. But the Eagles offense could advance no farther as Willie Williams tied into Carmichael's 6'8" frame. So Tom Dempsey was called on for his third field goal, and the New York lead was down to 1 point. On the Eagles' next drive, their offensive line began to control the line of scrimmage, punching out holes for the Eagle backs. Sullivan got 14 around left end, then 8 more over right tackle. Then Gabriel turned to his other running back, Norm Boulash, who went back to the left side for more good yardage. On the 12-play drive, Gabriel completed just 1 pass, and not wanting to risk the interception, he too became a runner. With a first down on the Giant 8, Gabriel went back to Silky Sullivan, who banged in for the touchdown. On a repeat, we can see a nice hole over left tackle, and then Sullivan's power as he ran through 2 Giants at the goal line. Finally, notice Sullivan's persistence in tracking down the ball for the all-important spike. The Eagles led 16-10. Unable to run on the inspired Eagle defense, Snead began to deal from his trump suit, short passes to his backs, and the Giants' sleeping offense began to move. Then, on the first play of the fourth quarter, Snead got a big break. He forced a pass into a crowd. The ball was deflected, but right to his own man, Bob Tucker. Perhaps it was the only way to beat the Eagle defense, for with the first down on the Philadelphia 8, the Giants could not get the touchdown. The running game was going nowhere, and when Snead threw, he thought he had a touchdown, but lost it. Watch back judge Gordon McCarter, number 48, first signal touchdown, then signal incomplete. A repeat of the play revealed the reason for the change. Both Bob Grimm and Al Nelson caught the ball simultaneously, but Nelson ripped the ball away, and before Grimm had possession long enough, the ball was loose. It was a tough call, but McCarter was right on the spot to make it. The Giants never reclaimed the lost touchdown as a third down pass failed, and the Giants had to settle for a field goal and still trailed 16-13. On the Giants' next series, the Eagles continued their containment of Ron Johnson. Snead was again forced to the air. Again he forced a pass. Again it was deflected, but this time he was not so lucky. Randy Logan's interception stopped another Giant drive. The Eagle defense, supposedly highly outgunned, was shooting down the Giant offense. But lest they become complacent, they watched as on the very next play, Roman Gabriel threw an interception of his own. Pete Athos stepped in front of Ben Hawkins, and New York was on the Philadelphia 34. From there, Snead went back to screens and swings to move the Giants. Clements carried to the 17, and the Eagles, now wary of the screen, hesitated on their rush, and Johnson popped through for 8 yards. Then Snead went back up top, and a great catch by Grimm put the ball on the 3. 2 plays later, Johnson saw a gap in the middle and banged through for the score. The Giants led 20-16 with less than 6 minutes to play. For Mike McCormick, it was time for another sideline squirming session. Just last week, he had seen a great Eagle comeback fall just short. This week, he hoped for a different ending, but the last Eagle drive got off to a less than rousing start. Gabriel decided on a run on first down, but it was stopped for no gain. On second down, John Mendenhall and Jack Gregory teamed to sack Gabriel for a loss of 11 yards. Gabriel was faced with 3rd and 21, a sure passing down. Though everyone in Yankee Stadium knew it, Gabriel still pumped it in, and Charlie Young made a clutch catch for a first down. Then Gabriel began seeking out Carmichael. First, a screen to Carmichael for 14 yards. On the next play, a post pattern for 23 more. Finally, a corner pattern. Gabriel's high toss was over Willie Williams, but only head high on the 6'8" Carmichael. The Eagles led 23-20. With less than 2 minutes left, and in the face of an inspired Eagle team, a happy ending for the Giants in Yankee Stadium seemed nearly impossible. The Eagles showed just how badly they wanted this game on the ensuing kickoff as number 82, rookie Bob Picard, blasted Joe Orduña on the 15. But thanks to some super receiver play, Snead was able to move the Giants. First, a great catch and carry by tight end Tucker carried to the Eagle 42-yard line. Then Snead went to wide receiver Rich Houston and got another fine catch. But the best catch of all was made by Don Herman. A repeat reveals no significant football technique, just a desire and a super catch. Watch it. For the second straight week, McCormick could feel a gallant Eagle comeback dying. But just when things appeared blackest, Gary Pettigrew bailed him out. A hard Pettigrew rush forced a first down incompletion. On second down, notice Snead being nailed by Pettigrew again just as he releases. Third down, Snead brought the Giants over the ball for their last chance for victory, trailing 23-20 with 26 seconds left in the game. Snead's pass to Bob Tucker was short of the end zone. The Giants had no timeouts left, and as the seconds ticked off the clock, Pete Gogolak hustled in. The snap just beat the clock, and Gogolak put it through with no time left to tie the game at 23-all. They say a tie is like kissing your sister, but for the Giants and Eagles, it did have meaning. For Alex Webster's Giants, who are contenders in their division, a loss to the Eagles would have severely hurt them. For Mike McCormick's Eagles, heavy underdogs in the game, their good effort indicated an advancing drive toward respectability. So over 57,000 fans filed out of Yankee Stadium, having witnessed the last professional football game scheduled to be played there. The old ball yard had witnessed the growing up of a sport. It had contained some of football's most lasting moments, and though the last game played there had ended in an inconclusive 23-23 tie, it too must go down as one of the most exciting ever played in Yankee Stadium and a part of its proud tradition.